Survival in the Sahara Desert by Kathy Kinsner. Many plants, animals, and people live in the Sahara Desert. How do they survive in such a hot and dry place? The skill we're working on is main idea and details. Our vocabulary is climate, eerie, lumbering, lurk, shimmer, and silken. We're using surrounding words to understand our context. Introduction on page 2. Chapter 1 on page 4 is about plants surviving in a dry climate. Chapter 2 on page 6 is about animals surviving in extreme heat. Chapter 3 on page 10 is about people surviving in the desert. The conclusion is on page 14. The glossary and index are on page 15. And comprehension check questions and a great graphic organizer for identifying your main idea and details can be found on page 16. Introduction. The Sahara Desert is one of the largest deserts in the world. It is over 3,500,000 square miles, which is about 9,600,000 square kilometers. It is almost the same size as the United States. Stretches over 10 countries in northern Africa. Like most deserts, the climate in the Sahara is hot and dry. Very little rain falls during the year. Most years, it gets less than 10 inches or 25 centimeters of rain. During the day, when the sun is blazing, temperatures can reach over 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees centigrade. Sometimes they get as high as 136 degrees Fahrenheit or 58 degrees centigrade. The nights can be freezing. In this harsh environment, very few plants can grow. Animals also find it hard to survive in this hot, rugged terrain. The desert may extend for miles, but it is sparsely populated. The average population is 1 person per square mile. Here we see that most of the world's deserts are located in 2 bands, one above and one below the equator that you see here in red. This picture's caption says that some scientists think these rock formations were the models for the pyramids, but some tourists find the rock formations eerie. When you think of the Sahara, you probably think it's all sand. It is true that in most parts of the desert you can see nothing for miles but sand. Wind blows the sand and dunes form. But the desert is not just sand. There are many rock formations in the Sahara too. Deserts begin as rocks. Wind, rainstorms, and changing temperatures wear away and break down the rock. Over time, the rock becomes sand. Let's explore this desert and see how the plants, animals, and people have survived. Page 4, Chapter 1, Plants Surviving in a Dry Climate. With little water in the desert, some plants have adapted to collect and conserve water. One plant that has changed over time so that it can survive in this environment is the acacia tree. The acacia tree survives in areas that get less than 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters of rain per year. Its leaves and roots help it survive. Its leaves are flat and small. They protect the tree bark from dry winds. Its long roots can reach water that is deep in the ground. This caption says, the thorns of the acacia tree discourage animals from eating it. Cocktail ants also live in it. They patrol the branches and sting any animals eating the leaves. Palm trees and oasis. People search for an oasis in the desert. An oasis is a green spot that shimmers in the blazing sun. Date palms grow here. These plants are beneficial to people. Here's how people use date palms. The fruit for food, the seeds can be used to feed their camels, the wood and leaves can be burned for fuel, the leaves can be used to make fences and baskets, and the sap from the trees can be made into a drink. Page 6, Chapter 2.